Hello everyone, welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So today in this class we will learn how to handle the exception in Java. So the first thing is that is what is exception? Exception is basically the error in the coding that can be made by the programmer by giving the wrong inputs. And the exception in Java are of two types. One is the checked exception and another one is the unchecked exception. So checked exception we can find before like during the compilation time, and the unchecked exception we find generally during the runtime. While we do have checked exceptions, even before running the code, we can find that these are the exception, possible exception over there. So we can find it out even without running the code. While for the unchecked exception, after running the code, what will happen after one error or after the unchecked exception, the further execution of the code will get stopped. And how can we handle these exception? We can handle these exception either by try catch and finally blocks, or we can use the throws keyword, and also we can use the throw keyword. So what is throw keyword? Throw keyword is generally used to throw the errors forcefully. And here these are the two things. Like first thing is try catch and finally, and another one is the throws keyword. So throws keyword is an alternative for try and catch block. And it what does happen when we use throw keyword? It will give information to the programmer about the exception. It will not handle the exception, but it will give the information about the exception to the programmer. And the try catch and finally block will handle the exception. So how it will happen? We can see in the by doing some coding. Mostly, let's take the example for the checked exception first, and then we can see how can we handle with the by using the try catch and finally block. So most of the cases the checked exceptions occurs when we use the files, when we handle the file. So let's say I have an example of file input stream, and let's say the variable name for this file input stream is fi, and then what we have new, and let's say I again have file input um, input stream, and then what I need, let me put some argument also inside this. And here what what is the first thing we need to import? This, let's import it. So I have imported it over here, right? So this is a what we have done. We have created an object for the file input stream class, and the this is our object, right? So now if I will hover over here, it is showing me that there are the exception, that one error can happen while you will run this code. So what this kind of thing, when even before running the code we are able to check that this procedure or this piece of code can throw an error, this kind of errors will known as the checked exceptions. This kind of piece of code will come under the checked exception. So if I hover over here, it is giving me two types of declaration. It is saying that unhandled exception type file not found exception. So in most of the cases, the file not found exception will come under the checked exception. And how can I handle it? There are two quick fix are available. One is that either I can use the try catch, or I can use add the throws declaration. So let's go with the try catch first. If I click over here, what happening? It has given me a piece of code where it is try, and inside the curly braces I have put my condition, and then I'll be having catch, and inside the catch I'll be having the exception type inside the parenthesis, and then I can have the like tracing of the exception inside the curly braces. So this is the piece of code for the try catch block. So what is there over here? Let's do it one time manually instead of doing it like that way. So what I have to do, I have to put this piece of code inside the try and catch, inside the try block, and inside the catch block what I have to do inside, because my exception name is what, file not found exception, and I'm representing it with the variable name as E. So I can take this piece of code in my catch block over here, and then here what can I do, I can use it like E dot print stack trace, right? So now I do not need this piece of code here. So this is the thing, that how we can handle the this exception by using the try catch block. So how are we going to handle, let's say before this piece of code I have system dot print out as this. Let's say I want to say hello everyone, hello everyone. So if I will run this piece of code now, what will happen? What will happen that this piece of code will get executed. So right now what is happening? This piece of code get executed, right? And here this piece of code is telling that this is the error over there. We already handled it. How did we handle it? Let me remove this try and catch block from here. If I'll remove this try catch block from here, what I have to do, let's say I have this piece of code. Let's say I do have it here, and I will comment this, and I can put this piece of code here. So now if I have this piece of code, and if I will run this program now, what will happen? It is showing that it is a, like there is an error, existing error, right? So if we will not handle that by using the try catch block, it will tell us before running the program, right? And now, so this is what I wanted to show here. Let me take my code back. So what happened, because we already handled this exception by using try and catch, even if here I will do any so let's say I want to say hello again. So after handling the exception, if I will run this piece of code, both of the printouts I will get. I got hello again and I got hello everyone. Both of the printouts I got. And here what I can do, instead of E print stack trace, what I can do, I can say here system.printout as, let's say I want file not found. File not found. And if I will run this piece of code now, what will happen? It will give me the things like that, because it has already cached the exception, and it is not printing me with e.print stack trace. I was printing what is the exception, and here what I am getting, here with the catch block I am getting the message that file not found. So everything get print out over here. So when we have handled our exception by using the try catch and block, try and catch block, so that exception got handled, and the execution of the code after that exception, it didn't get stopped, it got executed well, right? So this is the try catch and block with the checked exception, you can say, right? Now what can we do? Let me take this piece of code back out of this try and catch, and let me delete this part. And let me put it here back, and I am commenting this piece of code. If I hover over here now again, so it is showing me that you can add the throws declaration. So what is that throws declaration? You can pay attention. You can pay attention here that until now, after the argument of my main method, or after the name of my main method, before the body there is nothing. There is no keyword or nothing over there, right? So if I hover over here and I said add throws declaration, immediately this throws keyword comes here with the various types of exceptions. So here, because this piece of code is representing file not found exception, so it can take this piece of code, right? I can take IO exception also and exceptions also, because this exception is the bigger part and the IO exception is the sub part of this exception, and file not found is the sub part of IO exception. So it is there is no problem if I can use any of them. Or even in this throws declaration, I can use it like putting comma and I can say exception. So with the throws keyword, I can use various exceptions by putting the comma also. But right now we do not need everything. Let's say I want only one, this file not found exception over there, right? And so what will happen here now? Because we have not given any path of the file to this code, so definitely 110% this piece of code will send an error, right? So what will happen, the first piece of code in line number 16 will get executed, and after this we will get the error message. So if I will run this, I got hello everyone, and after that I got the exception. And now, when we were using try, catch, and finally, whatever the code was after try, catch, and finally, that code was getting executed. But when we use the throws keyword after the exception, this piece of code will not get executed. If I will run this program, I will not get hello again. So hello everyone, and after the error, I didn't get any hello again. So this is the difference for the try, catch, and the throws. Though throws is an alternative for try, catch, and finally, but it provides the information, only the information to the programmer that there may be an exception, and you can handle that exception by using your try, catch, and finally block. So this is one thing, right? Let's say one another example I want to take here only, right? Let's say I have an exception like system.printout, and here I want divide this 10 by 0. Right here it is not showing me any kind of exception right now. Let's say I don't have this piece of code, right? Until now I cannot see any exception. So if any exception will come, that will not come under the checked exception. And I also want to remove this throws keyword now. Let me remove this, right? So if I will run this piece of code, what it is giving me, it is showing that hello everyone is getting printed, and now this 10 by 0 is giving me an exception that is known as arithmetic exception. So now with this exception, let's see if I remove, if I add on this piece of code, will it get executed? If I'll run the program now, see that piece of code in line number 20 will also not get executed. So what we have to do, we need the try catch block. So what we have, try and the curly braces, and then we have catch, and then we have the parenthesis and the curly braces, right? So here what I want to try this piece of code, and I want to catch the arithmetic exception. Let's say I want to catch this, Control C, and I want to catch this arithmetic exception. Let's say I'm giving it a variable name as E, and then what I want the catch to say syso division by 0 not possible. Division by 0 not possible. Before this division not by 0, I want to show you one more thing that we had, that E dot print stack trace, right? That also we can do. So because we are handling this exception by try and catch block, so this piece of code must get executed. If I will run this program now, so what will happen, that this piece of code will be executed and it will give us hello again. So from the line number 16 it is giving hello everyone, and from here it is printing the what is the error over there, and then it is giving hello again. Now let's say I don't want to print the exception and I want to print the message. So what will happen, if I'll take this piece of code in my catch block now, then if I will execute, I will get all the 3 messages. That's how hello everyone, division by 0 not possible, and then hello again. So that's how we can use try, catch, and finally also there, right? Finally block we are missing here. So what we have to, what finally keyword do, we will use it after catch block and we can say finally. So either this piece of code is is throwing exception or not throwing exception. For the finally block, it will never matter. What will happen, it will always print, it will always print whatever is there. Let's say I'm saying hello here. So this piece of code will always get executed, whether this try and catch is printing or not printing. This piece of code will always get executed. So if I will run this program, it is saying hello here. So whatever the exception is here, either we are catching the exception, this finally block will always get executed. So now the same thing, can we handle with the throws keyword? Yes, we can. But what will happen? The piece of code, the same way, it will not be, the further piece of code will not get executed. Let's say I am deleting this piece of code, and here what I am saying here, I want throws. I want throws. And throws is what? Arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. Right. So now if I will run the program, see, this is giving arithmetic exception, but after this piece of code, the code in line number 21 will not get executed with the throws. So this is the drawback for this by using the throws keyword. It will just only tell the programmer that you have to handle the exception by using the try and catch. Right. So after that we have another keyword, that is throw. So this throw keyword does what? It will be throwing an exception forcefully. Let's say I have here 2. I do have here 2. And now if I want to execute this piece of code, what will happen? It is giving me hello everyone, and then it is giving me 5, and then it is giving me hello again, right? So let me delete this part. And now what I want to use throw keyword, and I want new. And after that, what I want to say arithmetic exception. And what is that arithmetic exception? I want this arithmetic exception to be handled like this. So arithmetic exception and this. Like this. Let me try this. Let me try. I want to give a hello here, right? Not that one. Let me do that. Okay. So after what we can do for using how can we use this throw keyword? This throw keyword is used to throw an exception forcefully. This is not a logical exception. This is the exception that we can say that it is a customized exception. Customize exception. Right. So what we have to do here, we are throwing this exception, and after this exception, this piece of code is freaking out. It is saying unreachable code. It is telling us that this is the unreachable code. So let's say I commented this piece of code, and if I will run this program now, so it is throwing an exception forcefully. Right. So that is the thing. So that is the difference between all these keywords: try, catch, finally, throws, and throw. So throw is the kind of customized exception that we generally use to throw an exception forcefully in a code, and then the keyword throws is an alternative for try and catch, and basically it gives information to the programmer that you have to handle an exception by using the try catch block, and that try catch and finally blocks can handle checked and unchecked, both kind of exceptions. So I hope this topic is clear, and thank you very much for watching my videos. I hope like you like it. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.